So let's take a look at Klaus Carney's spending plan. He's announced $486 billion unbudgeted in spending plan. We have to add that to that the $24 billion in vague and undefined campaign promises for, because we're going to be the best in the something or other, whatever. Plus $73 billion that he got through two orders in council. Come back to that in a moment. Our $486 billion, $24 billion, $73 billion comes to $583 billion by year's end. Let's just step back briefly to the $73 billion. He got that in two orders in council. So he went in the first time and got $33 billion. And then had to go back a month later and get another $40 billion. Our brilliant economist underestimated the day-to-day operating expenses of the country by over 100%. That's comforting. Now, we have to add to the $583 billion, I think it's $54 billion we're spending annually in interest on the existing claimed debt, which the government claims is $1.2 trillion. We'll come back to that as well. So if we're going to add now the $54 billion to the $583 billion, we have to add another roughly $22 billion for the over $600 billion we're at now that he's adding to the debt. That comes to $659 billion. And this figure does not include a host of large ticket items by the Carney government's own admission, no less, nor whatever billions of dollars it would be for the 36% increase in consultations. I didn't go dig that one out. So, where are we at now? Well, I'm going to round up, we've come to $659 billion, but because there's a host of big ticket items not accounted for in the spending plan, I'm going to round that up to $750 billion. I got no problem doing that. So, we add the $1.2 trillion, the $750 billion, we come to $1.95 trillion, just under $2 trillion. Oh, but wait, it gets worse. The base figure I'm using here of the claimed $1.2 trillion debt is 3 years old. The previous WEF Liberal Trudeau government hasn't updated that figure for us. I mean, Trudeau's WEF Liberal government's been running large deficits added to that $1.2 trillion, but we have no idea what that actually is because they conveniently haven't told us. We don't know. So, we broach $2 trillion. How can it not be? Oh, but wait. It's nearly impossible to argue the Klaus Carney and the new WEF government will not bring us to over that $2 trillion mark in debt. But it gets worse yet. The IMF has made it clear that if Canada's debt to GDP ratio is to worsen much from the claimed $1.2 trillion, again, let me stress that, we'll lose our AAA credit rating. What happens then to these figures? I have no idea. But it's not going to be good, is it? So, my prediction, you're not going to like it, but I don't see how. Well, Carney already told us it's not going to look good in this first year. We're going into a recession. Things are not good. I'm not going to get into missed mortgage payments and credit card payments and everything else that's happening on the street with the less common bears. So recession this year, my prediction. Depression next year. I'm talking serious because we're going to lose that AAA credit rating. I predict $2.5 trillion in debt. And then what happens? Year 3 of the WEF Carney government, Sri Lanka. Remember what happened to Sri Lanka? The IMF came and bought them out. That's my prediction. Sorry if you don't like it, but I can't be optimistic. Well, I'm not optimistic. So, is there any hope? See, this video is running on. Is there any hope? Currently, while the government's open for 3 weeks before it goes on 3 months vacation again, the Parliament has to pass this spending plan, the same as they would a budget. And if the Bloc joins the Conservatives and the 7 NDP, we don't need them all. If they were to not pass this budget, that's a non-confidence call, and we get an election again, which is our only hope. It really is. Otherwise, we're done. Carney's been placed here for, I've been saying it for years on this channel. Anyways, and what would be wrong with that? Having another election, because the government's closed, the Parliament's closed for 3 months anyways. So let's have another election and see what happens. That's our only hope. It really is for this spending plan, spending scheme of Klaus Carney's to fail. Anyways, sorry it's not a cheery video. Have a nice day.